So many people know cybersecurity is getting more and more critical. So we see this everywhere in the media, we can see this in the news, so there are always more and more topics coming up regarding cybersecurity. But cybersecurity is a really huge topic, especially for automotive in the meantime. Since we can see all the different kind of attacks, like some couple of months there was the dealership issue, so there was the cyber security attack to the software from the dealerships, and they couldn't use the system anymore. So they needed to go back to the pen and use paper and so on. So, but this is just one small part, because cybersecurity is just a huge topic. Because even the vehicles, and in my responsibility in regards of safety, I need also to take a look, how does it impact safety as well? So it's not only cybersecurity about data, it's about safety in the vehicle itself. And my message should be, or will be, I hope so that everybody really get the message right, is first of all, why it's so complex, why is a vehicle so attractive for cybersecurity, because we have a lot of possibility of attacks, because you have a lot of interfaces to a vehicle today. There's the vehicle to X, the V2X, vehicle to everything. So vehicle to pedestrians, vehicle to your app, vehicle to vehicle itself, vehicle to satellite, internet, everything. And so therefore we really need to take a look into it and say, okay, how we can protect our vehicle and how we can protect our customers. First of all, we need to establish a cybersecurity management system. So therefore, we have already standards. So the standard for 21434, for example, the ISO SAE established 21, it's already giving you the requirements, a framework which allows you to establish inside your product development for vehicles and for road vehicles to establish a framework for cybersecurity management system. And it doesn't matter if it's an EV, ADAS, or if it's a software-defined vehicle. So the first step is really like to understand what are the threats, what is the vulnerability of your vehicle, of your system and your environment, and how you need to react to this. Based on this, you can re-identify the threats by the TARA, which is the threats and the risk analysis for cybersecurity. And based on this, you need to identify the right countermeasures in your process, and later, of course, in the manufacturing and after production. We do have products which can be affected by cybersecurity in regards of safety, because if you establish a security mechanism, which can maybe lead to a kind of blocking a safety mechanism. For example, if you want to have encryption for cybersecurity to protect the data, it can lead to latency of some mechanism, which maybe affects functional safety as well. So this kind of conflict needs to be analyzed and needs to be resolved between the engineers and especially between the experts to understand how we can mitigate the risk for both, not there to avoid any conflicts. So when you're starting with your cybersecurity management system, it needs to start from the top. So it needs to come from the management. There needs to be full management awareness and support. So there needs to be the mindset by the management, cybersecurity is important. So this is the starting point, always support by management. And also to encourage team members, project team members to come up with issues in regards of cybersecurity. So you can establish, or even you must establish a product cybersecurity incident board, so everybody can report incidents regarding cybersecurity. You can put it also in targets and goals for the development of your organization by management. You can do the right trainings, open and transparent culture inside of your company is like similar to safety, and always encouragement by leadership. So you will have always regulations per country. Like for example, we do have the UNECE R155, which is really applied to Europe, for example. And therefore you need to have already the requirements in place, and you need to consider this as a market-specific regulations. The same for China. You have in China, meantime, also regulations regarding cybersecurity, which is legally needs to be considered. Otherwise, if you violate against it, you are not allowed to sell the car. So this already happens to some manufacturing companies. they are not allowed to sell cars in Europe, for example. So you need to consider always the local regulations. And there will be not a kind of a global regulations, there will be always the local regulations, but regarding standards, there will be some global standards like the 21434. This is one standard. And there are further standards like also regional one, like from NHTSA here in the US. So we have also requirements from their side and recommendations how to set up a cybersecurity management system. That's a really tough question in the meantime, because looking in the software-defined vehicle, I guess this is the biggest threat what we have, because you have a centralized software architecture and which allows you to have control to the most of the functions in a car by one access. And everything is connected by the internet. So via internet you have a lot of possibilities to attack, to get into the car, to get into the network of the car itself, into control functions, and to get data out of this. A second topic which is getting more and more popular under cyber attacks is the charging networks. Charging networks in the meantime for EVs are a kind of big weakness, because you have all the privacy data like credit cards, something like this, in the charging network, and they are not well protected right now. When you were reaching out to me, I was interested to give a presentation to an audience which is maybe not so deep into cybersecurity. Mostly I'm keeping presentation in front of experts, function safety or cybersecurity, and this time it's a different audience. It's a little bit more high level, but it's more about to create awareness why this is so important and why we consider this as important.